residents and send the wrong message.
Now that announcement comes 9 months after complaints about officers using riot gear and armored vehicles to confront protesters in Ferguson, Missouri. The president's new order bans police use of equipment such as explosive-resistant vehicles with tracked wheels like those seen on Army tanks or in Die Hard 1. The announcement was made in Camden, New Jersey, where the president praised police efforts to improve the relationship with a poor community struggling with violence. Is this the right move after Ferguson and Baltimore, Mr. Higbee?
If the president spent half as much time calling out the people actually throwing Molotov cocktails at the under-equipped police officers, then we probably wouldn't have as big of a problem. But I think absolutely with the increased ability and the access to things where people can create massive damage to traditional vehicles, traditional weaponry, then we need to arm our police force with that.
Yeah, to that end, one of the things that this task force came out and said that our police should be embracing the idea of being guardians rather than warriors, which is a great idea. But when you are at war,
right,
because there are people attacking you, there is a reason to have some of this type of equipment. You know, I think that it's a good idea in theory. I think that ultimately it is all just symbolism anyway. But I think that it also, once again, makes it look as though we have this police force that is out there to be Mad Max.
Coming from the guy who wants to federalize the police force.
Right. Getting back to Die Hard 1, they used a tank to try to get into Nakatomi Plaza, and then Hans used some tank missiles and blew them away. So it still isn't even a foolproof solution.
So let me just quickly respond. This guy does not want to federalize the police force. So let's not go to silly stuff. He just
Al
not
Sharpton does, and he is a major advisor to the president.
It's just silly stuff. Let's not waste time on silly stuff.
Okay.
But I'm going to have a little different response to the two of you, but it's not going to be what you think. I actually disagree with what the president's proposing, because I don't think it's a bad thing that the police forces have this equipment. Right. Here's the difference. The problem that we've gotten into, and this whole warrior versus protector thing, right, is because some police forces have been too quick to pull it out when it wasn't appropriate. It should be pulled out when it's appropriate, and they should have it for that reason. What I would do, and I have to tell you, I've discussed this with some police officers, what I would do is give them the equipment under the agreement that if you misuse this, then you're not getting any more.
Who has misused it?
Actually, a lot of police. No, I mean,
but like, give me an. I haven't seen it.
Well, Ferguson
was an appropriate use.
No, because you're only seeing it when the cameras come. We're not. That's the appropriate time to use it.
Right.
But what was happening is you've got a lot of these police forces that are taking it out all the time as a show of strength, and that's not the. Well, you wouldn't.
They may
it's
feel.
not on video.
I see police officers all the time wearing full body armor, and the thing is, the soft armor you wear underneath your uniform will stop a 9mm, but it's not going to stop an AK-47 round, which is readily available. So they wear this stuff.
I don't think that's the problem. I really don't.
If the president said, "Stop rioting in the streets and get a darn job," we might not be as facing the same problem.
Yeah, I think we have to be a little more sensitive to what it's doing with how the police. Again, I'm not saying take it away. I'm not saying don't give it to them. I'm saying they need to be more sensitive to when they use it, how they use it, and building more trust with their communities so that maybe they won't have to use it.
But trust is built on both sides. You know,
I don't disagree with
that.
The
communities that they're serving are not doing the same.
I disagree with that, but you're not seeing these things. Remember, we only see it when Baltimore erupts. We see it, and of course,
I find
you
that hard
see
to
it.
believe because of the media, the way that they're looking at this situation. I think that if there are a bunch of cops running around in tanks, we would see it.
Who's going to be there covering it?
I don't know.
If you got people throwing Molotov cocktails and lighting their own businesses on fire in their own community, let the cops run through there in tanks. Let them intimidate them.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they should.
Again, that misses
I get
my
tweets about
point.
this all the time.
But that misses my point. When you have that situation going on, I completely agree with you. They should. But you should be saving it for that. That's what it's for. And there are two, and again, I spoke with a big time cop today about this very topic, and this is exactly what he thinks. He thinks what I think. It's a mistake to not provide it, but it should be provided with the understanding that it's used appropriately, not to threaten, not to intimidate, but use it when those situations arise.
It seems like the training was part of the problem also, that when the weaponry was never really going to be the problem. It was people watching on national television, people walking in the stores and walking out with liquor. Or that CVS down in Baltimore, where in plain sight this is all happening because there weren't enough police officers around.
A 50mm gun should never come out until there's a reason for a 50mm gun.
Well, a 50mm gun is a cannon. But
I understand that. and that's something that they do pass along.
Right.
So, and I'm not saying they shouldn't have it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that shouldn't come out except for
Yeah.
a
The
grave
appropriate
People want to treat
situation.
their own community as a war zone. We need to be prepared to react like it's a war zone.
Be prepared to, just
Yeah.
don't do it when it's not a war
Right.
zone.
That's right. I'm just happy we could work Die Hard 1 into some way,
parts
shape, or
of it.
form. Yes. Coming up next, somebody wants an Air Force general court-martialed. Wait till you hear why. Don't go anywhere. This is a Monday night edition of the Daily Wrap, only on Newsmax TV.